Alrighty, we're speaking with Tommy Boy from Yachtley Crew. They are going to be at the Pima County Fair on Tuesday night. Now, the show is free with admission to the fair, but they do have some really cool upgraded VIP seats still available. You can purchase them at pimacountyfair.com or at klpx.com and even at mixfm.com. All right, you guys, Tommy, are hitting the stage Tuesday night at the Pima County Fair. What kind of party are you guys bringing for maybe somebody who hasn't seen Yachtley Crew before?
Oh man, I mean, for those that don't know, yacht rock is, 70s and 80s soft rock, stuff like Steely Dan, Toto, Michael McDonald, Christopher Cross. And so what Yachtly Crew is taking all that music and putting it in a live show that goes to the next level. I mean, we have lights, choreo, dancing, crowd interaction, unexpected moments, and really just people leave our show being like, "Man, I sang the whole time. I knew every song, and it was a real blast." So that's what I would say. Come on down, especially if it's a free ticket. Come on, no excuses.
Yeah, you gotta come on down. It'll be an absolute blast. Now the upgraded VIP seats have a slight fee, but they're not expensive at all, so definitely get those VIP
Cool.
seats. And
Yeah, I
by the
mean,
way, you guys got a new lead singer. How's that changed the sound of the band?
he's so incredible. If his name's Ian Ward, we call him Captain Ian, and he was on American Idol, and he's been on Broadway multiple times and off Broadway and all this other stuff like that. So, I mean, when we first heard him sing, we're like, "Wow, this guy notes that most other singers with falsetto, he does like full chest voice, and man, he can do the yacht rock thing better than anybody I've ever heard. So, he's like he gets the assignment, and he goes above and beyond. And then on top of that, his energy on stage is just infectious, and it makes us in the band want to move more, which in turn makes the crowd want to move more. And really, it's been a whole new level of fun having him on board, pun intended.
So, when people go, I've seen you guys a bunch of times. You were
Yeah,
here at the Rialto a few times. Of course, you played the big Centurions event last year,
yeah,
and now
yeah.
you're back this year. What should fans who maybe haven't seen you guys before, because you guys have a very loyal fan base here in Tucson, but so
Yeah.
this is a great opportunity to see you guys and get in free for the fair. What should people who have not seen Yachtly Crew expect?
Well, like I was saying, expected party, but also you might want to get your own captain's hat. And if you come to our merch booth, we'll have them there as well. But our fans dress up kind of like we do, and that's part of the fun, even if it's just the captain's hat. But we've had people dress up like mermaids. We've had people dress up like pirates. I mean, it's like it's crazy. It's very Jimmy Buffett-esque what's happened with our fans and our fan base. And our shows are like a whole event now, where it's a party before the show, and then during is the pinnacle of the evening, and then after the show is an after party, that kind of thing. So, I would just say expect to have a lot of fun in a very like unique atmosphere with songs that you love, and see a high energy rock and roll show. We're not, even though we're playing soft rock, we're not a sit down and have a sip of your drink kind of evening lounge act. We are a high energy rock and roll show. We like to call ourselves the Kiss of soft rock, if you will. Our bass player loves Kiss, so from the beginning he's always been like, we need to be the Kiss of soft rock, where we're gonna have lights. And like I said, we have the outfits and the choreo and all that kind of stuff. So it's gonna be a fun show.
What is the one song that's going to have everybody singing along?
I mean, there's a there's a lot of them in our set, but I mean, I say like we almost always put Africa in our set by Toto. That's a big one. The Pina Colada song is a big one. Uh, I mean, Baker Street is like a huge moment of our show. With obviously the sax part. I think that's more of a sax sing along than a vocal sing along. But yeah, I mean, that's the good thing about yacht rock. It's like we have so many awesome songs to choose from in our set list, and our show just gets to be hit after hit after hit.
So, it's interesting. There's obviously there's cover bands, there's tribute bands, but you guys are kind of a tribute. Yeah, you could call yourselves a cover band, but you guys are really a tribute band to yacht rock.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really call ourselves a cover band even, or a tribute. I mean, we do original music too, but obviously like we're playing other people's music is our main thing. We're not like trying to hide that or anything. But it's just like we always say like, okay, is Michael Bublé a tribute act? Like whatever he's playing, he's doing standard. That's how we kind of see ourselves, whether or not
Mhm.
that's how everybody else sees us. But like, we're kind of just being like, it's about people are coming to be entertained and they're coming to see a show. So, we try not to get caught up in the labels of it all. But I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, like we are definitely paying tribute to that era for sure, and we trying to do it justice. We're very, even though the stage show is light and fun and energetic, we're very serious about playing the songs the way that the original artist did them, which is no easy feat because these were great studio musicians back in the day.
Oh, absolutely. So quick question, you were alluding to, Jimmy Buffett. If I
Yep.
remember correctly, you guys actually signed to Jimmy Buffett's label.
Yes. Correct. R.I.P. Jimmy. We were our first EP, sees the day. That was on Jimmy's record label, Mailboat Records, and he got wind of us through our management, and his management knew each other, and so it seemed like a perfect fit. And he loved what we were doing, and so we signed to his label. But we were hoping at some point we would get to play with Jimmy, but then he got sick, and
Yeah.
it's just the way the world works sometimes. And so that unfortunately never happened. Our old lead singer did kind of pass him in a hallway, and they didn't realize who who each other were at a moment. But he was dressed up in his gear, and the guy said, "That's a good looking sailor." Jimmy said, "That's a good looking sailor right there." So that was our one little moment we had with Jimmy. That was actually before we had signed with the label, so I think it was very serendipitous how the whole Jimmy thing happened. But we're trying to carry that torch, man. Like I said earlier, like I remember going to see Jimmy when I was a teenager, and not real, it was my first time experiencing it. And I didn't really know Jimmy music that much at that point. And just being in awe of like the party beforehand. And it was like, oh my God, this is a whole event. This isn't just like we're going to see some musicians play on a stage. This is a whole event. So it's so cool for me now to, as part of my career, it's like I get to see that where we have parking lots full of people dressed like sailors, drinking pina coladas and sex on the beach and all this other kind of stuff like that. So it's like, wow, I'm really grateful for that.
So, do you guys have any new music on the horizon?
Well, we're kind of this year we'll be promoting our album that just came out in September called Seize the Night.
Mhm.
And it's kind of the follow-up to Seize the Day and our Christmas EP, Season Greetings. That's our Seize trilogy. I told the band, no more Seize titles after this. We've done it. We've done enough. But this is like but we're like, it's a trilogy. We're doing a trilogy. Okay. So yeah, but I think eventually, obviously, we want to get back in the studio, and maybe there'll be a live album on the horizon too. I think that's a big. We have a lot of people asking for a live album because that's kind of our whole thing is the live
Mhm.
show. And a lot of people honestly will be like, "Man, I love the original version of these songs, but like sometimes we put on the original record and we just miss your guys' version. We want to hear you guys do it." That people want to relive that live experience,
Oh, yeah.
And obviously like we're staying true to the original songs, but we're also like I said rocking it a little bit harder. Our drums are hitting a little bit heavier, and I'm playing the guitar a little bit more rock and roll distorted kind of thing. We're trying to like put a little modern twist on it. And I think people leave the show and like, man, that was so much fun and there was so much energy. And so all this to say, maybe there'll be a live album in the future, and then definitely another full length album, sure.
So, what's funny is the first time I saw you guys, I was expecting it to be a little bit more laid back. And I was blown
Right.
away by how much energy you guys had on stage. In fact, I remember at one point, I saw you guys at the Rialto, your sax player went up on the second level and was
Yeah.
literally dangling off while
Yeah.
playing, and I got a little nervous for him.
We call him the Evil Knievel of the saxophone.
I could see why. But you guys definitely, you rock it up a little bit more, and then even some songs I heard that you guys played, or at least little intros, like, I'm hearing a little Boston in there, and I'm hearing some different
Yeah.
stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and we've even, when Ozzy passed, R.I.P. Ozzy, we kind of started throwing in a little Crazy Train, little hints. We don't do the whole song, Well, and same thing with Boston. We don't do the whole song, but we'll throw. We're all just rock and rollers, and we love, all types of music. So it's like we try to just throw in little things for people, and like obviously everyone's there to see yacht rock, and we're gonna stick to that. But once in a while, we throw little Easter eggs in, and we had when. Uh, Ace Frehley died, we kind of threw in a little Kiss, end of Love Gun type of thing, you know, "Did-it-didn't, did-it-didn't, did-it-did-did-did," you know, that whole thing. So we were doing that, and you know, we're all just music fans. That's what, you know, that, and I think our crowd is too. You know.
Did you guys, when you started this, when this came out as the gel of an idea, did you expect it? Like, yacht rock has become, for a while there, it was like, ooh, yacht rock. And I love yacht rock. But it's suddenly, it's cool and hip again. Did you guys expect that this would blow up like it has for you guys?
No, and in fact, this was honestly when we always tell people, like, we started this where it was like, "Oh, that'll be fun. Let's do a few shows and, you know, see what happens." And we honestly had trouble finding a bar that would book us, which is so hilarious in retrospect now. You know, we would call the bar owners, or the promoters, and be like, "Hey, you know, we got this thing," and they're like, "Yacht rock? Like what? I don't know. I don't know." And finally, our drummer like told one of the promoters, like, "Look, if you don't book us, then, you know, the other bands I have, I'm not coming to your place to play with them either." You know, we had to like strong arm them a little bit. And then, of course, the very first two shows we played were both packed to the bar was packed, and the owners were, "We got to have you back. We got to have you back." You know, that kind of thing. So no, we were not expecting things to go this well, and we didn't know if we would play 5 shows. We didn't know if we would get booed off the stage. We just knew that we liked this music, and there weren't live bands really playing it. And so we said, well, there's a whole like I guess genre, but even like section of music from that time that is kind of not getting remembered as it should be, is how good it was, you know, and how talented the songwriters were, and the singers are amazing, and the studio musicians are good. So it's like we just said that it just kind of like, from a business standpoint, it was like there seems to be a space in the market for this, so let's just see what happens. And then now here we are 9 years later, and it's all of our full-time jobs, and we're having a blast, you know, spreading the yacht rock love across the world. Now we just announced our UK tour in
Wow.
November with the Eagles of Death Metal. So it's like, you know, we went to Australia last year, so it's like it's crazy what's happening, you know.
What's funny is I'll talk to other, yacht rock aficionados, and we'll talk about it, and it's so funny. Every single one of us has a little bit of a different definition of what
Yeah,
yacht rock is, and it's hilarious, like, I was talking to somebody about, I think it's Human Nature, Michael Jackson. How does
that's
that
yacht
yacht
rock to
rock? And
me.
then it was written by members of Toto. It's
Right,
like
yeah.
so
I mean, the Thriller album is a lot of the Toto guys, right? I mean, it's like a Toto album with Michael Jackson singing or something, you know?
exactly.
And, but yeah, I mean, people get really, like, finicky about, "Whoa, you know, you guys are playing this song, and it's not yacht rock." There's probably half of our set people online would be like, "That's not yacht rock," or something like that, because they get so, like, it has to be this exact thing. But, like, we're kind of like, if it's from that era and it fits the vibe and it fits our show, and it's not something I mean, a weird benchmark for us is like, if it's something that like a normal 80s cover band would play, then we're probably not going to play that, you know,
Ye
that kind of like in general. So, um, yeah, I'm kind of like, we try to stay away from the message boards and the people being like, Man, this isn't
right.
yacht rock," you know what I mean? That kind of thing. We're just like, whatever, we're gonna have fun. And honestly, we let the crowd tell us. If we play a song and the crowd goes crazy, we do "Oh Sherry" by Steve Perry. Is that yacht rock? I don't, you know, probably there's gonna be people on a message board being like, "Journey isn't yacht rock," or whatever, even though it's Steve Perry solo. But it's like,
I
you
play
know
it on my
what?
yacht rock show.
Well, there we go. We play it live, and people effing love it, you know? So I'm
Yeah.
like, well, we're gonna keep playing it, because if the crowd responds like that, and then, you know, and then other times we do songs like, I love Steely Dan. They're like my number one. But we do Peg, and sometimes it's like, man, people are whatever, you know, that kind of when we play it. So it's like we don't really put it in our set that much anymore, even though it's a great song.
Oh, nice.
You know, so, and that's like dead on yacht rock. So
Yeah.
it really is about like, we let the fans tell us what we should play. Really, we really are like, we're gonna try this song out. Let's see how they like it. You know, that's what we do.
Yeah, the
And
response from the crowd kinda gives you the
right.
immediate feedback, and over time, you'll see it.
Right, and so basically, we through 10 years, we've just trial and errored a bunch of different even last night, we just played in Cerritos last night, and we're trying out some new stuff, and we're saying, "Okay, it's just part of our formula," you know what I mean? We're always gonna do Africa and the Pina Colada song and Baker Street, but, like, we're gonna throw in some other things here and there to see, like, "Hey, is this gonna work? What about this one? What about this?" We just threw back in, Fooled Around and Fell in Love, Elvin Bishop. He killed last night. It was awesome. You know what I mean? So that's probably gonna be in our summer set list. So, it's fun. It's fun. But all of this to say, we don't really pay attention to the message board nerds about yacht rock.
So if somebody wants to follow you guys on social media or on the internet, where can they find you?
Yachtleycrew.com, everything at Yachtley Crew, YACTLEYCREW. And yeah, we're all across the internet. That's our handle. That's our webpage.
Well, Tommy, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys Tuesday night at the Pima County Fair. It's going to be an absolute blast. Get there early, guys, because there's always a party ahead of time, and there'll be a party afterwards. And of course, there's all kinds of fun stuff going on at the Pima County Fair anyway. So it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, we're excited. I'm hearing great things, and I looked at pictures of past years. I'm like, wow, this looks like a huge event. So we're really excited to get down there. We're flying out on Sunday. We'll see you there on Tuesday.
All right. Hey, Tommy, thank you so much. And again, Yachtley Crew, Tuesday night, Pima County Fair, VIP seats still available. The show is free with admission to the fair. All the details, everything you need to know at pimacountyfair.com and at klpx.com and our sister station, mixfm.com.
All right, thanks, Larry. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.